doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that's the thing about playing music. Like, I mean, sometimes I'm playing live and I'm just trying to jam and fill the set. You know, sometimes I want to try something new and I'll just jam something out, and something cool comes to mind, you know, and I end up either creating a cool sound or learning from the experience, whether or not it's good or not. You know.
The creative experience that occurs there is good. It gets you by for the day. I created something. I don't care that I didn't use it. It's still that form of creation instead of consumption. Mm-hmm. That terrible experience. Did you overcome it?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Random Riffs podcast, brought to you by Jam Hut Studio. I'm your host, Peter Karras. Our mission here with Random Riffs is to provide a platform for original local musicians to showcase their greatest hits. And a big shout out to our team, The Weekly Wanderer, Connor O'Sullivan, covering all your live local performances, updates, and Ali Sun with Honey Lux Production. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Random Riffs podcast. I'm your host, Peter Karras, with your co-host, Lou. And today we have a very special guest with the voice of an angel. Ladies and gents, today we have for you, Will Angiulo.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, Will? Thanks for coming out, bro.
Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. At what point in your life did you say, I'm a musician?
Actually, it's a hard question to answer on the dot. I mean, my brother was playing music when I was young, so he tore his ACL and he's in high school, and I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade. It's like, I want to play music like my brother, type of thing, and he taught me how to play, and he was playing all over. I was kind of just playing guitar throughout like high school and college, and then I was always writing my own music, so I just kind of figured, you know what, let me just try and get some gigs, see if I can make a little bit of money on the side doing it. And then, you know, it's really always started for me just kind of like the love of, you know, playing music, what it does for you.
So early on, you were inspired by your brother. You're basically like saying that he kind of opened the door for you. Was he any good?
Yeah.
What was his style?
I mean, he's a very talented musician, singer-songwriter. He's played in the Kaboo Festival with you know, one of his previous bands, Kate Usher and the Sturdy Souls.
What's his name?
His name's Kevin Angiulo.
Kevin.
Shout out, Kevin.
Shout out, Kev. We want you on the pod.
He goes by Kevin the Kind. And so, yeah, he's a big inspiration for me. We always jam a lot and try to play together when we can.
Awesome, dude.
But yeah, that's how it started, and then it kind of blossomed to, you know, more of a, you know, full weekend type of thing. And so I'm fortunate enough to be able to, you know, play every weekend on Long Island. So
that is so cool, dude. How does that feel to have, you know, basically, I don't know, a passive income?
It's cool, you know.
With that,
it's hard to like be grateful for it in the moment, because, you know, you're always looking for like that next win. So like once you get to that spot, like, you know, 5 years ago, you know, if I knew where I was today, I'd be like, that's insane, no fucking way.
Okay.
But now, you know, now I'm here, I'm like, I want to be here.
What's
right?
next?
So what's next is, but, you know, I have to remind myself to, you know, have gratitude and be grateful for where I am, because I am so fortunate and I'm blessed to be able to play music and, you know, write songs and do all that stuff, and make a little money off of it, you know.
To be centered in your dream, pretty much.
Right.
And I get what you mean, because once you're kind of there, you're like, all right, but I need to be in the big leagues, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But you know what? You are in the middle of your dream right now.
Yeah, I'm living it, you know, and it's awesome. I get to, you know, go and play new venues all the time, and I'm reaching out to places to try and get new ones. It's a grind, you know. Don't get me wrong, but, you know, nothing good comes from doing nothing. You know, right. You got to work hard. All the people that got where they got there by countless hours you didn't see, blood, sweat, and tears. So
yeah,
just trying to put my hours in. And, you know, if at the end of the day all I get to do is just write music and play some songs for people, I'm happy. And if I get to inspire someone else along the way, then boom.
It's so true. Awesome. And that brings me back to a quote where it's like, you know, is it the things that just come easily in life that makes us happy, or is it the things that are struggles that we actually just hope that we could get past them? Like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then we look back and we're like, thank God I made that. You know what I mean? That which one makes us more happy? I think it's the struggles. I think it's the things that make things more substantial because it pulls you into yourself. It pulls your soul to the surface and really makes you kind of say, you know, I got to do this. It's not going to just happen. I have to make it happen.
Yeah. I long time ago, I kind of got into this habit of just like, if I wanted to do something and then I felt like an immense amount of fear on it, I knew that I had to do it because
I love that. Yeah, that's
because eventually once you start doing it, you get to the point where it becomes easy. Like, you know, getting on stage in front of, you know, people is not an easy thing to do.
No, not by any means.
Especially, you know, when you're not necessarily like looking to be the face of, you know, an audience or whatever, but you get over that and then, you know, you keep doing it and it becomes easier. And then the next time you try and do something, whether it's like music or other things in life, it becomes easier to kind of get past that, you know.
Yeah, it becomes your cadence.
Yeah.
It becomes who you are. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. And you're like, all right, I'm going to do it. And then like the next time something comes up like that, you're like, no, I have to do it.
Because you've done it before.
Exactly.
Who were some of your influences growing up?
I mean, music-wise, Jack Johnson and John Mayer.
I knew it, bro.
Huge.
I was going to say G-Love, too.
G-Love, I love G-Love. G-Love is great. I love his music. Definitely an inspiration of mine. Like Sublime, and then, you know, Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix are always just like huge in my house. My brother was very inspired by Jimi Hendrix, so he's, you know, got a very, you know, intricate rock style. But, you know, I love a lot of different genres of music. You know, I have so many different inspirations. I grew up skateboarding, so skateboarding is a huge influence for me. I guess that kind of comes into play where it's like something hard happens and I have to kind of get back up and just continue doing it. Because as a skateboarder, you fall, you eat shit.
Oh my gosh!
You know, you're hitting concrete, you're scraping yourself up, and I've broken bones. So you know, you get used to getting back up and just continuing to do it. And I think that was like one of the biggest influences for me in how I operate is skateboarding.
Yeah, you're a street skater?
Yes, I mean, I always grew up skating street and like, you know, hanging out with my friends, going into Babylon and, you know, into the town and stuff like that.
Were you goofy or regular?
I'm goofy.
Yeah, okay, I was going to say regular. All right.
Nothing more cathartic than getting your ass beat by some cement and then getting back up and saying, I'm going to do it again.
Exactly.
And then seeing, hey, I didn't die. Like, I'm still, you know what I mean? I just busted ass. My freaking leg hurts, but my elbow, whatever. But yeah, it's kind of like that feeling where like you're like a kid again. You're like, damn, I'm fine. And it shakes off that like that resonance of like heavy vibration on you sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things going on in life. Like, there's so many ways to get dissuaded from doing what you want to do, or to end up being stressed or anxious or overwhelmed with everything going on in life. It's something that I've had to deal with, you know, for my whole life. So I just kind of find tools that I can use to help me in whatever it is. You know, if I'm anxious, you know, I've had problems with anxiety, I just kind of look up what I can do, and then I kind of build habits, like building that habit with forcing myself to do anything that I'm afraid of, you know.
I love that. That's
that's
a very powerful
That's
habit.
awesome.
Have you ever done something in skateboarding that like you felt like, you know what, that kind of like helped me get over the hump, and now I'm going to use that in music?
Well, I had surgery on my knee in 2020. I tore my ACL, my meniscus, my LCL, and my LCL.
Shit. No, basically your leg was like hanging on a thread.
Yeah, basically. Like, I had tried to like ollie onto a dumpster and do like a 50-50 and hop out. And it was like a 6-foot dumpster, and I landed on the truck of my board, and my leg kind of like shifted. And I tried to get back up, and my whole knee just like shifted out of place. And I was like, oh no. And that was a huge like mental battle. It's not only like when you get injured, it's the physical pain of not being able to do it, but also like the mental battle of like doing life without being able to do the things that you want to do. Like, you know, in the summer you can't surf or skate, and you know, you're going out to the bars, you can't really go places that you want to go because it's, you know, you're on crutches and all this shit.
It's a very challenging thing because you also may have to go down the route of taking medication and like it's stuff that numbs you, and that could really screw someone's life up. You know, people, that happens to certain people, they get really overweight, it just throws everything off. So it's not, you know, a small thing. What happened? How did you overcome that?
Well, you know, like you said, you gain weight. Like, I was kind of just sitting around doing nothing, eating like shit and not taking care of my body. And I was kind of just bummed. I had just graduated college, so I was supposed to have like, you know, epic summer after college, home finally, and like done with school, and like, you know, looking forward to like whatever life has to give me. Now I know that there's really not much out, like, unless you want to take advantage of what you want to do, right? It's like you go to college and you expect like life to change when you get out of it, and everything's going to be different, but it's
like that magical experience where it's like, oh my gosh, now I have the credentials. The world is going to accept and receive me. Yeah, and then you actually enter the world, and it's like, nobody cares, motherfucker.
Right.
Like, what the fuck else
like,
do you got?
They told you your whole life you're a kid. You're like, being an adult's going to be sick. Like, you're going to get to do whatever you want, or at least you think that. And then you're like, fuck, I want to be a kid again.
And life kind of slaps you in the face. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah, but it's all part of the day, right? You know, everything, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Well, back to that, actually, that terrible experience, did you overcome it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I still skate to this day.
What?
I actually run a clothing brand called Limitless Culture, and I throw skate contests throughout the year. Every year I throw like 2 or 3 skate contests, and I raise, you know, anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, give it out to the skateboarders, and kind of like bring the community together.
That's amazing.
Through that, you know, I've just kind of found myself. I think when I got injured and I was coming home from college, I really wanted to do something with that brand and kind of just be involved in the skate scene on Long Island. Mm-hmm. You know, there was a couple of older guys who had started throwing contests. You know, this guy, Chad Caruso, who is skating across the country right now, actually.
Mm-hmm. I heard about that.
Yeah, he's one of the big influences for me, just because he started throwing contests. When I was a kid, there was a big contest called the Tanner Jam that happened, and, you know, that kind of inspired me. And then, you know, when I had my injury, I had so much extra time on my hands. You know, I played a lot of music, and I, you know, kind of strategized what I would do with the brand, and I ended up on, you know, doing stuff for the community, because really the ultimate goal is to just build an indoor skate park and a music venue in one.
That's so cool.
And so over the years, I've just kind of been trying to formulate, you know, all the parts, build the community around it, and then kind of set the stones for, you know, the people who I want to be involved with the larger venture of it, you know.
So you stayed moving. You weren't like, oh man, you know, all right, my knee's fucked, so I'm just gonna like sit down, you know, play video games all. Yeah. No, you reinvested.
Are you a fan of Tim Pool?
I actually don't know who Tim Pool is.
Tim Pool is a skater, but he's also a podcaster. He does a lot of cultural issues and political stuff, but he is a musician as well, and he has his own skate park and podcasts and warehouse and studio. So you should look him up. You might be into him.
Maybe you could do the same thing as him. And no, but what I'm saying is, like, when you came back to the circumstance of like, all right, you know what, I do play music too. I'm not just a skateboarder. I can skateboard for this portion of time. Right. I'm going to take all that pent up energy and I'm going to make that my musical expression now. You know, that was a great outlet for you, I guess.
For sure.
Did you make any songs while you were hurt?
Yeah, I definitely did. Actually, you know, it's funny. I'd have to look back in my voice memos, because usually whenever I write a song, I'll record a verse, I'll record whatever the first part is in my voice memos.
You hum into it?
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
You can see the progression over time, you know, like I have like a bunch of different notes of the song, and it'll be like, you know, beginning, middle, like then I'll have one where I'm like, I finally at least got it out, what I want.
You ever click one out in public and it's just like and everyone's like listening, what the fuck is that? You just like embarrassed.
That's you, bro, not him.
No, that's actually Lou. He showed me the other day. I was, you know, we were talking about, you know, making a song, and he was like, I was like, that's pretty good.
Dude, you know, I mean, that's the thing about playing music. Like, I mean, sometimes I'm playing live and I'm just trying to jam and fill the set. You know, sometimes I want to try something new and I'll just jam something out, and something cool comes to mind, you know, and I'll try and sing to it, and just nothing comes out of it, you know, but it just, you know, you end up either creating a cool sound or learning from the experience, whether or not it's good or not, you know.
The creative experience that occurs there is good. It gets you by for the day, and it kind of keeps you feeling like, you know what, I created something. I don't care that I didn't use it. It's still that form of creation instead of consumption.
I think going back to your point on how like the injury kind of like shaped or helped me, or how I like took a positive view from it, I think that really stems from just like me always using creativity as my outlet. Because for me, from a young age, I always was like into creating whatever it was. You know, I'm a creative director for my full-time job. So I went to school for graphic design, and so whatever it was, creating a graphic or playing a song or skateboarding or surfing, anything that was creative and I can put a twist on it myself, I was trying to do that because I was always in my own head about whatever was going on in life. I don't think I understood how to articulate and talk to people about what I was feeling, or really even understood the concepts of life and what was going on until college.
Difficult. Yeah, it's hard to actually articulate what's going on.
Your brain is still developing. Your frontal lobe isn't developed yet.
Yeah, it took a while. And now I have the ability to be metacognate and think about my thoughts.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Don't get lost. Don't get into a think hole. Sometimes my buddy goes into think holes and I can't get him out.
Though?
Right, that's what I mean, right? So I had that problem. I would go into these think holes.
The best problem to have, by the way.
You don't know if you're not aware, right? If you're not aware and you're just
that's why you need a buddy.
You need a homie to suck you out of it, right? But I was injured and I was in my head.
No, but seriously, I totally get what you mean. It's your friend could be like, yo man, listen bro, we're chilling, man, why the fuck are you getting all crazy deep? But you know what though, I think that understanding yourself is one of the biggest and most challenging things that no one can give that to you. So it's if you're hanging out with other people and they don't fucking understand you for shit and you don't understand you for shit, you're not doing anybody a service by saying, oh, well, I'm just going to stay ignorant on what's going on inside of myself. How the fuck am I going to process what feelings are? How the fuck am I going to process how this thing makes me motivated to make music and this thing makes me I don't want to do it. Right. So it's important that you learn you. Fuck everybody else, man.
It is.
Shit.
I mean, look, no one else, when you're thinking about yourself and what people said about you, I guarantee you no one else is thinking about what you said. They're thinking about what they said and what you're thinking about them.
All projecting. Everyone's projecting and we're all in our own freaking universe.
We're all literally the 5-year-old kids that we were, just in bigger bodies.
100%.
And we're all just trying to figure it out. Everybody's just trying to learn how they can live life the best that they can. And for me, I think the best way that I could do that is learning about myself. And I think that's the same for everybody else.
Hey man, it's all about experience. And honestly, I have discovered a way to break words apart that makes me more inspired. So experience, I broke it down into exuberantly peer into essence.
Nice.
So if you think about that, the more experience you have, the better you are. Why? Because you have peered into essence, which is God, and that circumstance enough times that now you can understand it at a deeper level, and now you can articulate it in the way that you want to, instead 100%. Of it being well, I don't know what's going on, so I'm just going to kind of just whatever and then hope it works. No, now you know why it works.
Exactly.
And that is so important to probably the most important thing here, which is making music.
Well, and that's what it even goes back to when I say I have to do this hard thing, and then eventually hard things get easier. Now I know, because from experience, that because I did this hard thing so many times, that next time I have a hard thing that comes up, it's way easier for me to just be fuck it, doesn't matter, I'm not even going to think about it, because I have the experience.
You're I don't care, I'm doing this, I don't care. That's why I take ice cold showers every day.
I'll deal with the problem. If a problem arises, I'll deal with it when it happens.
That right there is the epitome of self-trust.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the most important thing, because if you find yourself in circumstances where you don't know if you can manage, where you don't know if you could handle it, guess what? Yo, Will's got my back. You know what I mean?
No one's coming to save me. I mean, my parents, they've been the best that I could ever ask for as parents, but no one knows me like I know me. No one knows what I need and how I want things and the way that I want them. And I'm a creative guy. I have a vision for certain things, right? So if I need something done, I'm just going to do it myself. And like I said, if a problem arises and I don't know how to fix it, then I'll ask for some help and, use whatever help I can, with a grain of salt, and then, try and adapt it to whatever way that it helps me.
I absolutely agree. That reminds me of something that I thought of years ago, which is once you get past a certain point, you need to be the mother and the father of yourself.
Right.
You can't just be oh yeah, I'm just gonna. Who the heck do you have to rely on? No one even you could look at the greatest of the greats, and people still don't give a no one cares.
Yeah.
It's so fucking it's messed up.
And when you were a kid, bro, how many times did you found out that some answer your dad gave you to some problem you're having when you're a kid is just not true?
Everything.
And then you're oh, so yeah, your parents are just making up things to make you happy in the moment, and then you find out later that they're not right. It's everything is made up. you put value on whatever you want to put value on. Like if I'm anxious about this, I'm only anxious about it because I'm putting value on it. And the only way you can know that is if you think about your thoughts, think, why would I be anxious about it? And then you can change your thought about it if you change your relationship.
Yes, reprogram the limiting belief. Go back in and change that. I've been doing it like recently a lot. And like sometimes you sit there and you have like a bad thought, whatever. And then you're like, oh no. And then you're like, no, screw that. Reset it.
Yeah.
Fucking put something else there that you don't, you don't have to accept fate, as they say.
Your mind is stronger than your feelings.
For sure.
So
It's
do you
so
think that
true.
most artists are born with it? I know, going back to working hard, do you think that artists are born with it? There's something innate in them? Or can you be born and work towards it and become a great artist?
I think that all humans have an innate sense to interpret music however they want to interpret it. But I think everyone has a relationship with music. I think even kids, you just see it like babies, they'll sleep longer or they'll go to sleep easier because they have like a song on or something like that. I think that there's something innate about music. I don't know if it's like you're born with it. Like I think people can learn 100%. Like I didn't just pick up the guitar when I was 5 years old and just start playing like Led Zeppelin, I had to learn. I still am learning. Like I don't think that there's anything like prodigal about me at all. I don't think that I have something that other people don't. I just have the willingness to just dedicate myself to my craft over time and just know that I'm going to get better if I continue to do that.
What do you think separates the prodigies? Because I have some of my own theories about this from people like me and you and and Lou that need to actually work on this stuff and like overcome these hurdles. It's not just like I'm good, you know what I mean? I'm a genius.
I mean, to me, the prodigies, like you'll play a chord and they can tell you what chord that is.
Well, like, I mean, like Beethoven, the greats, like
those. I mean, to me, that's what it is. I mean, but there's like so much. Like, who am I to put a like scale or whatever it's called on what a prodigy is? There's so many talented musicians out there, and I don't know any of their stories really. I mean, I know some, talented musicians out there on Instagram and stuff like that I've seen, and they're killing it. And I would assume that they're a prodigy, but who knows? Maybe they took so much time to do that.
It always feels like that. You never know how many years these people have invested their time to try to, perfect the craft. And you know what the crazy thing is? The really, really good ones, they will never show you how much time has been dedicated into it. They keep it a secret. So it's like they just come out and they're like, oh my God, what the heck? Where'd this guy come from with all this amazing talent?
Well, I have to bet though the prodigies still struggle just as much as most musicians do when it comes to making a song the way they want it. You know what I mean? I'm sure they can play music, freely and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe they record a song on first try. For me, it's not that way. But I think there's a beauty in both. There's a beauty in both, right? Yeah. Like I think there's so many similarities and stuff like that. Being a prodigy doesn't necessarily there's no value in being either. I think they're both a beautiful thing to be.
I love that, dude. That's so true because it's literally you. Like you said, being metacognitive and saying, wow, these are certain aspects that I would love if I was a prodigy.
Right.
What if I'm not? These are the aspects that I love about my current life. Yeah. And this is being aware of being aware allows you to find the gratitude to stay centered. So this way you could extract what you need to so you can move and mobilize yourself further. Actually, speaking of that, while playing music, do you ever feel like a different person than your everyday self?
Oh, good question.
Thank you.
I like when I play music that it feels like the whole world stops. Sometimes I'm stuck in my head, like we were just talking about, and I have a hard time getting out of my head. And usually that's after a hangover or drinking a bunch or whatever I did the night prior, or, if something, emotional is happening in my life, anxiety is usually heightened. But I can go to music, and in that time that I'm just playing music and just playing songs that I know, it's like all I have to do is that. And I just have to think about me singing the next note, me playing that next note, and then
life
nothing
becomes
else is
a harmony.
Yeah, life just becomes what I'm like. Life is just present moment me.
You
know what I mean?
just kind of like almost enter like a pool. It's almost like a liquid. Everything becomes the same seamless substance. Whereas before it's like, oh my god, all these like fragmented bits. Fuck, I hate this. I hate that. I feel that. Why did that person say that?
Right.
I should have punched that. But then now you're like playing a song, and all of a sudden it's just like,
right. You start to take some deep breaths. You play the song, and you realize, all right, this is great. And it's like that too. Like when I'm playing live, and I'm maybe nervous for a bigger crowd or a place that I haven't played before, because you want to make sure you make a good first impression,
you want to
right?
be seamless.
And so it's like, or I make a mistake, and I'm like, fuck, all right, I just got to keep going and just make sure everything's good, take some deep breaths, and then next thing I know, I forget about it, and I'm just playing,
So it does actually turn you into someone different.
Yeah, I mean, music for sure has transformed me, especially my relationship with music. As I've grown, I kind of just was writing music, and it was more so just like coming through me, and I wasn't necessarily thinking about what I was writing or changing what I was writing. I was just kind of like writing it, and I would think like, all right, I just wrote a song. But as I got older and I kind of progressed in writing music and just learned more about guitar and being a songwriter, I realized that there's so much more to a song, right? Like you can write a song and write it acoustically, and then you go to record it and you realize, wow, there's so many different layers that I could add to it that could change the whole sound of the song, that could change then the lyrics of the song, that could change the whole trajectory of how it makes you feel and what you're trying to make people feel.
So many moving parts.
There's so many moving parts.
Freaking boggles your mind, bro.
Right, and that's sometimes like I love to write music, but I have to be honest, sometimes that part of the recording process is my least favorite part. Right?
I was you're answering one of the questions.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's because you get caught up in
all the opportunities and possibilities you can get lost.
Yeah, it's like overload. It's like,
so that's what I was actually going to say. What part of music do you wish you could do away with? That is basically it.
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't want to do away with it. Like I want it there because I think that's one of the things that like. That hard process of like going through all of that is what makes like the final product feel so good at the end. So I wouldn't get rid of it, but I would probably, I mean, I guess I just have to change my position on it. You know what I mean? I think my songwriting process just is evolving, and I think that I just have to continue to evolve to figure out what's the best way for me to do it to avoid that.
Like, I like that because like. I mean, what happens is like as long as you save the template, right? Like the basic pieces of that song. I had a Nano Studio and I used to make beats. And what I would do is I would like this part that I could add to it that's bending it in one direction, but I would want to save the bass one because I want to see if that was the definitive one or if I could layer something else on and make it sound different. Right. So I will keep the bass and I'll have like 5 or 6 different versions that it kind of turns into. So I totally get what you ever do that? Do you ever keep like the bass of the song and like say, you know what? I don't want to just change it for sure. I want to kind of play with it a little bit. Yeah,
when I record, usually I'll record like different layers. So for the bass, if I'm going to record a bass, I'll record like probably like 10 or 20 just like different bass riffs randomly, and then I'll just listen to them all, see which one like sounds the best, and stuff like that. And then I mean it makes it easier too because like sometimes when you're playing the chords, right, you don't get it right every time or on rhythm, right, so you just kind of like do a bunch of takes to make the editing process easier. I'm still actually pretty early in the producer game. My brother Kevin, he does a lot of work in producing my songs and helping me with that stuff. As of right now, I only have one song that's released to the public. It's called My Angel. But he helped me out with all that stuff, and he helped me out with layering it and creating the the bass and the drums and the piano and the other instruments that's layered behind it.
What's My Angel about?
My Angel is actually about my grandma, who is on the shirt that I'm wearing.
I was wondering who that was.
So this is my grandma.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. The story behind this shirt is my one of my brother's good friends at the time had started a brand, and one of the shirts was "Death to Hipsters," and a part of the campaign he had was
look at this shirt, Brian. I love that.
Getting my grandma to wear the shirt at her house in Montauk, and so she wore the shirt, and she's standing at the stoop of our house in Montauk, and the picture went viral. And if you look up Death of Hipsters on Google, to this day, you still see this picture pop up, and the shirt will pop up that people like reproduced all over. The guy ended up not like copywriting it, so he never had any claim to it. And
that's so cool.
But it was a very cool story, and the song I wrote is dedicated to my grandma. She passed in 2020, and I wrote that song when she passed. And so it's kind of just a reminder for anyone who's ever lost someone that, you know, your angels are watching over you. They're never gone, and they're always in your heart.
Can you play that for us tonight?
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Cool, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
Let me ask you this. What role does ego play while being an artist?
That's a good question.
It's a fine line, I feel like. Obviously, like, I think one of the best qualities that an artist can be is humble. You don't, like, I try to be humble, you know, but sometimes you get in this situation where you're playing songs and stuff like that, and you just want to, like, you know, play for yourself or whatever it is. Not that you don't want, like, to get other people involved, or it's like, I could choose a full band gig, or I could choose a solo gig, and I'll probably choose a solo gig most of the time just because it's so much work and hassle to like get the band together, practice, and do what I want to do. I guess that's not so much ego, it's more so just like not having to put in so much work. But I mean, I don't know, I haven't really had to deal with it. Like, you know, there's not really been many situations where I felt like my ego's gotten jacked up so much by what I've done with music. I guess that is one of the things that would worry me about the future. I wonder how it would change me. I would hope that I would not let it change me too much, and I would, you know, stay humble and be the same person that I was. Because one thing that I know is that money is not going to change my happiness factor. That's for sure.
See, that's a metacognitive statement right there, because most people would be like, once I get there, everything's going to be peaches and cream.
I mean, no, I mean, I already have, like, I'm already, yeah, that is true. Like, and I always thought that for a long time too, but, you know, I honestly don't even know what it would be like to be in that position. But, like, I'm pretty rich in everything other than money right now, you know? So, like, if I had money, yeah, that'd be sick. But more money, more problems, right? So,
hey, man, the bigger the river, the bigger the drought.
Right.
But if you have metacognition and you have a rich life already, then you already know the facets of your life that enrich you. So when you have the money, you will know where to place it.
Right.
And you won't overdo things, so that this way you will find enjoyment in it.
That's my hope, you know?
You know, but again, I think it's a very strange thing, because currently what happens is sometimes what brings us happiness is overcoming the little struggles. And when we have no little struggles, because we have all of this money, now the thing that we used to use to have happiness and hope in our lives is gone.
Right.
It's a little terrifying. You know what I mean? We look at these really famous actors and we're like, oh my God, they must be killing it.
Right.
But they might be miserable.
I mean, yeah, look at, like, how many famous actors and musicians have killed themselves. Just because, you know, like, freaking Robin Williams, you know, legend. Who would ever have thought?
He was the
funniest man in the world.
He had Lewy body's dementia too, but yeah, absolutely. That, you know, not to make an excuse, but yeah, he had
I'm sure that
Lewy's body dementia. Every time I'm standing next to you, I get that, because you're fucking 6'5". I'm freaking 5'5", so it gets to me. You know what I mean? I got Lewy's body's divorce.
Do you think that there's a link between suffering and great art?
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that my best art gets made when I am suffering. I think part in because I can't vocalize how I feel. I can, but it just doesn't come out the way that I want it to. And also, it's like you're channeling something that's more than you are, I feel like. Like, emotion is not something that's a part of anybody in the moment. Like, it's not, like, you don't own sadness, you know what I mean? It's like, sadness is something that everybody feels.
So you have to listen.
But it's like you're channeling into this feeling. And it's not only the feeling that you're feeling, but it's a feeling that everybody else is feeling. So I feel like when I am, like, really hurt or something like that, it's like, it's so easy to be relatable. It's so easy to, like, you know, say things that, you know, people might hear and be like, wow, that's great. You know, and it makes it easier for me to write a song, and I think about it that way. Or, you know, if I'm happy and I you know, I just had amazing day, and I'm just like, picking up the guitar, and I feel like things just come easier to me.
That is such
your
a
mood.
good point.
I feel like my mood plays on my ability to do things. Like you wear an outfit and you don't think you look good, and then you're subconscious about yourself the whole day, right? As opposed to you think you look fire. And you don't care what other people think about you, but you think you look fire. Then you're strutting around. You're like, yo, I'm a fucking gangster. I'm chilling.
Bro. Gangsta grills. No,
yeah.
No, but I absolutely agree with what you just said, and I think that it's very profound to say that you can't own a feeling. So it's like if you're feeling something, and you know what I mean, everyone's in their own place. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So now when you tap into that as a musician, and you can get that for everyone to feel it.
Right.
That's magic right there, man. That's pretty fucking
I mean, that's
cool.
what every artist, I guess, wants. I can't say I can't say I have.
If you could,
I mean, definitely.
You're connecting everyone in that stream of emotion right there.
Right. Like, I've definitely written some songs where I feel like channeling that has been huge. Like one of the songs that I wrote when I was younger, as my girlfriend and I, that I went to college dating. When we broke up, I wrote a song just about it, but it felt so real because the experience was real. I was channeling some emotions that I know other people have felt. It felt like I wasn't only channeling my experience, but it felt like it was channeling a bunch of people's experiences that made it like, all right, this should be a song. You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, what part of music makes you most excited? Making it or playing it in front of people?
I think making music makes me when I make a song and I think I'm like, oh shit, I like it.
Fire.
Then that feeling in that moment, it's a very fleeting feeling, but that one feeling, it's like the best high in the world.
Wow.
It's like the ultimate form of validation because you don't need anybody else's validation to realize that what you're doing feels good to you. And so I feel that and I'm like, shit, this is dope.
Wow.
And then when you do play it live, right, this is where it kind of gets a little shaky because it's either you're expecting people to have a reaction based off of what you think of the song, right? So I think the song is great, right? And I perform it for a crowd, and I'm performing at a bar where no one's paying attention and no one reacts, right? Then, right, I'm obviously not going to be happy about that,
yeah,
right?
No, that wouldn't feel so great.
It wouldn't feel great.
That's exactly
right?
what you said.
So it's
before.
like playing live, sometimes you don't get that feeling, right? Like I've very rarely played shows where it's not background music. Like I've played some larger shows where I've played on stages. I played at Blue Point. I played at the Montauk Music Festival, which I actually am playing in this upcoming weekend. And then but most of the gigs that I'm playing background music, right? So it's like you try a lot not to let those things get to you, and oftentimes I won't even be like, hey, I just wrote this song. I'll just be like, this is an original, whatever, and I won't expect anything. I set my expectations accordingly,
Yeah.
But that, to answer your question, I think the best part for me is when you write a song and
it hits
you get that feeling. Yeah, you're like,
wow. Yeah. No, that's so true because you're like, man, I just accessed the treasure that was inside my brain. It's like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
Or somewhere in the ether, and I just snag it.
You're just like, yo, that's mine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Where can people find your music?
On Instagram, well, you can follow me on Instagram. You'll see where I'm posting new songs and stuff like that. But I have my song "My Angel" is on all streaming platforms, so Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen to music. It's available to stream. And then I'm planning on releasing 5 new songs this year. Those will be on all streaming platforms as well. Just kind of working out release dates and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm working on a lot of music and just trying to get it out there in a way that feels authentic and
natural.
Yeah, natural.
Awesome, bro.
Have you ever performed for a crowd that made you cry tears of joy because they were so welcoming?
Really? Do you think he did? Do you think he cried tears of joy?
Hey, man, listen.
I think you remember.
I can't say I've cried tears of joy. I've definitely had moments where people sang along with me, and afterward I was like, damn, that was really cool. And I got I got a couple videos of them, and I'm like, yeah, this is
So it
this is
moved
cool.
you, but not to the point
Yeah,
of,
I mean,
like-
not to the point of tears. Like, I've been watching American Idol. I love that show, and just because it's sick to see random musicians that no one knows. I know it's a little corny. There's a stigma around watching American Idol, whatever. But it's so magical to see these musicians who you can see are literally nobody, just like everybody else is, right? And they just come and they try out and they audition, and then they end up making it and winning American Idol.
That's amazing.
It's insane. You know what I mean?
Stunning.
That stuff, I was crying my eyes out when I was listening to their stories, right? But if I was in that position, I would for sure cry.
Well,
You know what I
speaking of crying, what was the worst experience you had performing? And did it make you cry?
The worst
No, I'm just kidding.
experience. The worst experience I had was probably one time I was playing. This is like earlier in my career, and at that time, my brother would have me come up and like play gigs on his breaks. So I would play some songs while he was on break. So like 4 or 5 songs, maybe less. And I would just kind of fill in, and that was like me getting experience to start playing live. This is before I had started playing my own live shows. And this one guy comes up to me, and he's just like, "Stop playing that right now. Stop. Like, this is terrible." And I was just like, oh shit. And I didn't know what to do. So I like stopped.
Oh,
and I was like,
God.
I was so nervous and embarrassed and everything. And then my brother's like, "No, keep playing. Fuck that guy." And then like, I had only stopped briefly because it kind of just threw me off, but I kind of kept playing, and eventually apparently the guy was just super fucked up, and they kicked him out and all that stuff. But yeah, that was a pretty demeaning experience.
Oh.
It definitely felt shitty. I was definitely like, damn, like everybody else was telling me that I sounded great, but this guy apparently didn't think so. So I was like, well, one guy didn't think so. What are you guys not telling me? And then, you get in your head.
Oh my gosh.
stuff.
Luckily they kicked his ass out quickly so you didn't have to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah, that was good. I mean,
Well, what do you believe makes you stand out from other artists?
I think one of the things about me as a live musician first is I think I really prioritize how I select the songs for my set. I'm like very particular about my set and like the overall feel for it. It's very selective in a specific, and it depends on where I play. You know what I mean? But
Thoughtful,
I think
calculated.
that I have a certain vibe that I like to go off of, and it changes based off the venue. I think my song selection is a strong point, I guess, that I'd have in my live music. For my songwriting, there's so many talented musicians out there. You know what I mean? I can't say something that I do makes me better or worse than anybody, but I think something that I really like about myself that I do when it comes to writing is just like the fact that I can be so metacognitive, and that helps me when I'm writing songs, right? So when I am writing my song, I'll think about, is this relatable, right? I'm writing my songs for me. It's my art. I don't really write music for other people, but I want people to relate to it. You know what I mean? I want to put out messages to inspire people and to like understand that things that happen to them also happen to everybody else, right? And so I'm trying to connect people through my music and being able to think about what I'm writing and what that means, and who's going to relate to it, who I want to relate to it. That is really like my
I see
goal.
what you're saying. So you want it to be,
Yeah, thank you.
you want it to be able to connect. You want people to see like, hey, listen, you're not alone here.
Yeah,
I think we're all kind of going through some stuff here, guys.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm sure a lot of artists like are trying to do the similar thing. For me, I think that's just like, in my mind, the way that I do the process for writing music. I think that's what sets me apart. Just like my ability to
Read a room and calculate a set.
read a room, calculate a set. Also, like, just take everything with a grain of salt, and use whatever I have to the best of my ability. You know what I mean? I don't really like let things block me. Like,
Good.
Like
No,
I said,
that's
right?
amazing.
If I feel like something is, something I have to do, I feel that feeling of fear. I'm just gonna do
jump
it.
right in.
Yeah.
See, but that's cool though, man. I think that skateboarding helped you with that.
Yeah,
Because
for
when you
sure.
get your ass handed to you, you're like, I'm not just gonna stop. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like the parent that comes up with a stick and says, if you don't stop, and then they hit you, it's like, all right, but I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. You can't stop me. You know what I mean? Like, so what are 3 attributes that a song needs to be perfect in order for it to be a hit?
Good melody and good harmonies, catchy melody, it's always key. On point percussion, like whatever it is, whatever the bass, or if there's drums, that's got to be right. The energy has to be, on point for that. And then I think, to me, lyrics. So melody, lyrics, and then the beat.
Wow. Okay. Heck yeah, man.
Nice. I got one more question for you.
I also have one after that.
Cool.
You want to go first?
Do you believe you can make it on Billboard's Top 100? And if so, what amount of time could you do it in?
I definitely do. I definitely do believe
That's what I'm
it.
fucking talking about.
I believe
brother.
that,
You
for sure,
better
bro.
fucking believe it.
I mean, I think the most problems with artists is that they don't believe in themselves. I mean, I believe in myself. I've always believed in myself, to the highest degree. I don't know if I'm there yet, but some songs that I've written, I definitely feel like they could start my career off in a good trajectory. I envision myself on a billboard. I envision myself
Yes.
playing at Madison Square Garden. I envision myself playing at huge festivals and touring and releasing music and
I believe you
all
could
the
do
feelings that come with that. I visualize that. What was the other part of the question?
What amount of time could you do it in? You got to give yourself a deadline, baby. That's it, man.
Don't give him a deadline.
You got to give yourself a deadline, man.
I do. You do. You need to give yourself. If you have a goal, you have to give
Are you
yourself
going
a
to be
deadline.
89 when you do it? Come on.
I'd like to be in a. I'd like to be happy with my position in my music career by 30. So in a couple of years, I'd like to see myself, really starting to get opportunities where maybe I'm opening up for bigger name artists, and that's really catapulted me into it. That's a long estimate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm planning on just, I'm working on building a studio of my own so I can just film content and have, everything that I want easily accessible, set up whenever I go there, come in, sit down for a weekend, film like 60 pieces of content, set it up, come back next month, do that. And then this way I'm not draining myself like with my creative expression.
Yeah.
And I'm able to create content that can help me grow, try new things, and then 2, I can still have time to play live music and do whatever else I need to do. I have a lot of things going on, so it's just templatizing everything and formatting it all to be that way.
Do you believe that attunement is involved in this? Attunement?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been tuned into like whatever I need,
Like you said, you were visualizing it.
Yeah. I have affirmations.
It's
that I
a
say them every
vibration,
day. I say affirmations
right?
every day.
It's attunement because it's meant to be attuned.
Yeah,
right?
manifestation is real, but it's not just saying, it's
you
doing.
said something about opportunity a second ago.
Right.
Oh no.
I pour my tune into eternity. So what your vibration is, what you're sending out, what message you're sending, what signal is occupying the field of space around you. And if you believe that,
I'll see any opportunity that comes up.
Hey man, listen.
I hope so, at least.
You're doing it, and I think you got what it takes, brother. I think you definitely got what it takes. If nobody else believes it, you better be the one to believe it.
All right, last question. What scares you more, failing publicly or never fully trying?
Never fully trying. Regret is my biggest
That's a
fear.
good question.
Regret is my biggest fear. If I fail publicly, at least I did it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Speaking of that,
but that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Most people fail publicly and then they'll never try again. I'm just gonna fail publicly, get up and do it again.
Speaking of that,
I think that's a great way
ladies
to end
and
the pod,
gentlemen,
bro.
man,
Way to
that's
end
what
that,
I'm talking
man.
about.
Awesome work.
But
Fantastic.
the final question is, speaking of that, have you ever done a random riff? And would you be
Not until
willing
today.
to do a random
Oh,
riff
boy.
today
Here
with
we go
me?
again.
You already know.
Where you play a riff and then we kind of like sing and just make a song on the spot.
Let's get it.
Let's
Let's
fucking go, bro. That's what I'm talking
Another
about.
dap, all right. Let's go.
Why
That's
not,
all
man?
right.
I gotta
Come
get
on.
you
Get
too, all
Brian
right.
in there too, man. Yo, Brian.
My name is Will Angiulo, playing on the Random Riff podcast. Play some tunes for you guys today. This one is an original song called Top of the Roof. need you, don't ever leave my side. He said, girl, you're the love of my life. Time went on, we both went to school, separated by what they wanted to do. Now it's all messed up, they don't know what's good. Distance is killing them, they're lost now too. And he's sitting on the top of the roof that he used to share with her. He's lost in it all, it's driving him crazy, caught in the thrill of calling her baby, and he don't know what to do. It's driving him insane, or they call it crazy love, 'cause it really drives you crazy. It's a roller coaster, goes up and down, then over, then goes down in twists, then goes lower. She said, I don't sleep, I wonder if he thinks of me. My stomach's always turning, you can imagine the things I see in the back of my head. The thoughts are insane, well I think of the worst, and I'm always in pain. And she's sitting on the top of the roof that she used to share with him. She's lost in it all, it's driving her crazy, caught in the thrill of driving him, baby, and I don't know what to do. Driving her insane, but they call it crazy love, 'cause it really drives you crazy. But in the end, all they ever wanted was to be together without any problems, just the two of them to love each other, the two of them to pick up one another. This next song is called Beach Fires at Dawn. This is the most recent song that I've written. Looking to release this song at some point this summer, so stay tuned on all streaming platforms. Whoa, whoa, my love, to me, we'll have beach fires at dawn. We'll make love in the morning. Baby, you're all that I want. You're all that I want. Oh, your eyes and your nose, baby, the way that you move. Oh, the feeling I get when I'm dancing with you. It's like la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la dee do. It's like la da 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 la da 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 la da da da. When I'm with you, there's magic in the air, baby. When you drop your hair, oh, you look at me and stare. Yeah, you take me away. There's magic in the air, oh, baby. When you drop your hair, you look at me and stare. Yeah, you take me away. Beach fires at dawn, we'll make love till the morn. Baby, you're all that I want. Yeah, you're all that I want. Oh, your eyes and your nose, baby, the way that you move. Oh, the feeling I get when I'm dancing with you. da 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 da, la da da, la da da, yeah. On beats fires at dawn, make love to the morn. Yeah, you're all I want, you're all I want. On beats fires at dawn, make love to the morn. Yeah, you're all I want, all I want. Beach fires at dawn, we'll make love to the morn. Yeah, you're all I want. Beach fires at dawn. This song is called My Angel. This one's dedicated to my grandma and anyone who's lost someone and needs a reminder that they have angels watching over them, because you do. This one goes out to my angel, the one who's watching over me. I know that you're there, somewhere in the distance that I can't see. I just wanna thank you for everything you did, 'cause I'm so thankful to be the person that I am, my angel, the one who's watching over me. When I look to the sky, I also see your beautiful face. Not a day goes by when I don't think of your grace. No more crying, no more tears, 'cause you are flying. Yes, you are free. No more crying, no more tears, 'cause you are free. This one goes out to my angel, the one who's watching over me. I just wanna thank you for everything you did, 'cause I'm so thankful to be the person that I am, my angel, the one who's watching over me right now.
Strolling through the park, and I see everyone just having a good time, having a good time, having a good time, having a good time. Not a care in the world, not a problem inside. Everything just happening, everything is alright. And the breeze just bustles in, and the birds and squirrels chirping around. And it's all okay, it's all alright. Everything's gonna be the best thing in my life, because I walk it so it happening, it happening. You can't stop it, 'cause we just got this flowing, and everyone is looking, and everyone is listening, and everything is okay, 'cause that's how we gotta say it. Okay now, yeah, 'cause we gon' make this thing work, and we gon' make this thing right. Stop me now. The light is bright like way. Everyone's gon' say, can't stop me now. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Don't read all of that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, subscribe to